I joined the program. The first product we tested together was a winning product, 300K with that product. I did 138 pounds.
That's in 2 months.
That's wild. For that, I'm really grateful. Just get a mentor and it's gonna work.
Mhm. This is going to be a wild one because all of your ups and downs. It's a crazy story. Let's get right into it. How did everything go for you, and where are you at now?
So my story started like back in 2021. That's when I came across like dropshipping at first. I watched a lot of watching. I'm good at watching. I tested my first product. My first order was $100 order. Like someone bought three. I was really hyped. I thought this is the one. Obviously, it was not. I didn't know like what I was doing. That's the only order I got. I stopped that product. Life got in the way. I had a job. I was doing like design at the side, so I got offered the job. I took it, and that took all my energy and focus for about a year. So I didn't do anything for a year until like mid 2022. That's when I came back to dropshipping. Started like really heavily in testing out products. Within my first like third or fourth product, I think I found a product that did around 10K. That product like really made me believe that it's possible, and I knew that dropshipping is like a business model for me. So immediately after I believed, I started like testing products heavily. That product broke even, or I lost a little bit. So tested three or four more, and I found another winning product. That product is the first product that took me to 1K a day. I ran it for around like I think a month or a month and a half until I started getting banned from TikTok ads. After I looked into it, like the product was against TikTok ads policies. I was doing
Mhm.
TikTok ads at the time. They were like really hot, really popular. I didn't know what to do after I got restricted, so I was just opening ad account after ad account, trying like Snapchat ads, Google ads, really attached to that product. Like for 4 months, I didn't test any more products, and I was like trying to make that product work. When I was like restricted from all the ad platform, I was doing Instagram shoutouts. Products keep selling. I was doing like 7K a day, like a month. So with like some good profit margins. So that's like after 4 months into that product, that's when I reached out to you. I want to know like what to do with that product. That's the product that helped me like get money for the mentorship. I joined the program. I believe it's January of 2023. So that's when I joined. Like I abandoned that product because I know it's just one of the products and it can be easily replaced. So it's nothing of value. So I immediately abandoned it and I start testing. Thankfully, like the first product we tested together was a winning product. That product was wild. And I was like dealing left and right with Facebook bans and everything. That's the first time I run a product on Facebook ads. Like you got me into Facebook ads. So I had to set up the structure. I had to know, like to get to know Facebook ads. I did a lot of like stupid mistakes so I can learn from them. So I run that product for, I believe, 5 months. I did around 85K, $85,000 with that product. It was not like very profitable. I believe I did 10% on it. I was trying really hard as well. I got emotionally attached. I did that mistake again. And like I was trying to do like everything to get the product to work. And I remember like we had a call when I told you like I got really frustrated and I asked you why this product is not working, and you just like told me test like more products. It was like basically a question of quantity. Like if all the experiences you did with that products and the problems were done in 1 month, like you had already abandoned that product and tested another one and you had a winning product. So I didn't know that as well. So like took me a lot of time. That's when I started testing products. So I stopped that product in the fifth month or something. I tested like believe six other products or something, and that's when I came across like this product that we're talking about right now. That product, I found it within the first week of that product. I was doing 2K a day, so it was like unheard of number. Like first time I seen them, it was super easy product. Like everything was perfect with that product, so I kept doing that for like 3 months. Of course, like 2K a day comes with its problems. So I had a lot of Shopify payment problems. I had a lot of Stripe problems. The product also was against some policies. So it's in a gray area. The Shopify themselves like restricted me from the account. So I moved to WooCommerce and I start running the products on WooCommerce 4 months into the product and did like 300K with that product. And November is my first $100,000 month overwhelmed with that product.
First of all, congrats on that. Let's get into the screen share maybe. Obviously, this is a Facebook product, so how are the margins on that as well?
The margins are way higher than a Facebook product normally. So it's like 30%, like on a lower month, 25%, on a high month, 33%. This is WooCommerce. So I started running the product on WooCommerce since I got restricted. That was on October.
Ugliest dashboard in the world.
Yeah, it's annoying and ugly. All right, so this is like, I did 138 pounds. So that's $167,000 in USD.
That's in 2 months, right?
Yeah, that's in October. And in November, so month to date, I did 92,000 pounds. So that's, nice. I believe, $116,000. That's wild. We can check out the margins and stuff.
38K in November in profit.
Yeah, like that's really wild.
That's good.
Since I started it 13, 17, and November, it's skyrocketed.
Well, amazing. What was the most helpful things from the program itself? What was the main learnings, etc.?
Like, I would say first thing is accountability. Like, if I would say like how the program helped me, I would say like accountability, having someone holding me accountable and looking over my shoulder. Like, whenever I promise something, I'm going to do it. I know someone is expecting me to do that thing, so I will do it. If I were myself, I would procrastinate and I would like delay stuff. And also the information themselves. You introduced me to Facebook ads. So I was lost on TikTok ads, doing like a million strategy with TikTok ads. So you got me into Facebook ads. I learned like Facebook ads entirely into the program, not just like how to run the products, but also like the ins and outs of it, the complicated structures of how not to get banned and everything. Also like how to do product research properly. In terms of knowledge, everything you need is in the program, which is like really helpful to me. And the third thing, I believe, is the community, people around us. I've experienced it myself because I get a lot of weird problems, and like sometimes I come up with the weirdest problem ever, and you always have someone for me, like talk to like Yannick, talk to this one. And like I always found people around me to help me, which is like very valuable. So shout out to Blaji and Rasmus and Yannick and everybody. It was very helpful to me. So I'm really grateful for the community.
I think also one of the biggest things which we saw with you generally, what you said with getting emotionally attached to everything, I saw that a lot with you as well in the beginning, where we had to constantly talk about, right, dropping this product, doing next thing, thinking bigger, thinking in terms of volume, and not thinking about one product, but thinking about products. You just need to test products. Some of them is going to hit, some of them are not going to work. And the same thing goes for creatives. If one thing doesn't work, it's not a problem. We need to just test more and more and more. And there's also 100% like a mental game involved in dropshipping. How did you instinctively handle things? And then when we talk, obviously it changed a lot. I remember constant like mental talks with you as well. How was that for you?
Absolutely true. Like I didn't know any better. So I like whenever I found like something that's working. So my first thing is this is the one. Like this is the one. I didn't know like it's a numbers game, and you have to like optimize, and one leads to another one. So that's why I get emotionally attached with a lot of things. Like whether it's a creative, whether it's product, whether it's a lot of things. So it took me a lot. So I'm to this day, I'm still like fighting this mental dilemma of getting attached to stuff. Program was like extremely helpful in terms of that. And when you see like a lot of people that are doing a lot of what I'm doing, like in units, they're doing it in hundreds. Like I'm reaching out to like 5 people to do me like creatives. Like I found Rasmus reaching out to 1,000. That's like I'm trying to reset my expectations. Like every time I found a problem, like an event comes up and resets my expectations, so I know like I have to do more. The program here like helps. Like
it's just about raising the standards of everything, and I think it's much easier to raise the standards if you see people around you doing the same thing. It's not uncommon to talk to hundreds and hundreds of influencers and to content creators. That should be the average, and then you text a 10 and you feel great about it, and then you're like, oh wait, that's not what I was thinking. I thought I'm doing that.
A lot of time like when you do things in small quantities, they don't work, and you assume like all influencer marketing is not working, or things that you did like very little of is not working. Whether it's you need to do more.
Like a lot of people think that math and stuff like that is important in business. And I would say this is the only moment where it actually becomes important, where statistically speaking, higher numbers are leading to averages and smaller numbers lead to anomalies. And this is something which I learned from the business world. If you throw a coin 10 times, it's not going to be 5 times heads, 5 times tails, almost no circumstances. However, if you throw it 1,000 times, it's going to be somewhere around 500. And this is exactly that needs to be applied in business. If you do something 10 times, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. So the same thing goes for people who tell me, oh, I have a 0.5% conversion rate, only something I'm doing wrong. Bro, you had 20 visitors. I have a 10% conversion rate. It doesn't matter. You have 2 sales. Like it doesn't count. Like actual real numbers are coming from averages, and averages cannot be determined from small numbers. So yeah, this is a huge learning for me, which I had like it was an epiphany in the beginning, and I see it more and more with like just like things like creatives or on the organic side with like testing a shit ton of products, a shit ton of like videos at the same time, seeing this with all the students. Initially, when you got into this, did you think you would hit like 100K a month? Was that the goal from the get-go, or did you not see that as realistic?
I didn't see it as like unrealistic. It was not the goal. I was aiming for 10K profits per month. So like my goal was 1K a day, because like the goal that everybody has in dropshipping, I believe, is 1K a day. That's when you see everywhere in thumbnails, in YouTube ads, in everything, like you see like 1K a day, how to make 1K a day. So that goal stuck in my mind, and I was like aiming to do 1K a day. When I did 1K a day, I was like super happy. Then when I did 6K a day, just like the emotional reaction was completely different. So it was like a mental milestone that I had to surpass, so I can feel like I made it. So my goal actually was like 10K profit per month. Now that I did it, my goal is way higher than that.
How is doing this full time? I mean, you're doing this full time for a while. Would you say it's stressful? Is it freeing? How is that?
I'm not doing it actually full time. So
Really?
I have a full-time job, but I don't work at all in my full-time job. So the company I work with is chill. Like they don't have it's a really big company, so they don't pay attention to me. So I'm getting paid like a really good salary, but I don't even work on that. I work like half an hour a day. So like I'm like full-time at Dropship, even though I still have like a backup.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So you have the dream job basically. You encountered tons of problems, and you still have a bunch of problems with payment providers and stuff like that. So let's talk about the main challenges you're overall having.
I'm having like my big issues are right now with payments gateways. Like the country I'm in, like the products I'm testing and everything, making it like really hard for me to have a consistent, reliable payments gateways. I've been through 4 right now. I've had like a lot of holds. Like I started with Shopify payment. He was holding like 15% of my money. When they closed me down, they took like 15% for 120 days hold. I'm getting it until like March of next year. I moved to WooCommerce. Like they have a payments gateway solution. I used it for about a month and a half. I ran into another problem, and they took around 12,000 pounds, and it's in hold for also 120 days. Like you remember, like they even decided to take like the whole 12,000 pounds after like going back and forth with them, when they decided to put it on just a hold and not taking it and refunding it to everybody. I also have like 25% on PayPal for 60 days, and also a $10,000 permanent hold. Like as long as you're using PayPal, they have $10,000 in reserve there. Everywhere you go, like there's a lot of problems. That puts a lot of constraint on my cash flow. When I got started, like 3 months, I was doing 2K a day for 3 months, and I wasn't able to scale any further because of the cash flow. Also because of the unstable payments gateways, it's really hard for me. Like I did like 17K profits for the first 2 months. I never felt it because it was all held in reserves, and I always have that feeling that it's gonna get away, and they will decide to take it. So as long as you're not like really having it on hand, I still don't get that stable feeling of richness.
Well, you shouldn't definitely have the stale rich like feeling of richness yet, because of a bunch of various reasons. Like you have so many payment provider issues. You have only one product on multiple, which is currently up and running, and these things should put doubt in your head that you cannot chill. Imagine this: you would have five products on five accounts and five Shopify payments, five everything, all making 20K. It's the same 100K, but you're stable, right? And obviously, it's a very different scenario now, and it's very important to keep that in mind.
True, true. Like I really believe that, and one of my goals or the principles I believe in, and I have to follow in the dropshipping space. But application, bro, is really hard. Like I don't know if because I have this product and this like lot of profits coming in made me like super lazy. I don't know, like I know that, but the application is very hard. Like I'm testing one product in 2 weeks. It's very different than when I had nothing. Now that I had like profits and everything is like clear that I have to do more of it, I don't do it as much as I used to do.
You just need to keep it in front of your head. That's like it's gonna come back to you. You chilling now, it's gonna come back to you in 3, 4, 5 months, and it's something which is gonna happen eventually, and you just don't feel it yet. So like the same thing happened to me. All the top advanced guys, everybody are at the top, and you crash. And this is something which is very normal if you start chilling. You know, if you, for example, talk to Yannick, he's crushing it. He had stability for a really long time because he just didn't stop. Like after it started to work, it just kept going. He had stability for such a long time, basically because he's testing a crazy amount of products, like hundreds and hundreds of products he's testing. The same thing with Rasmus, you know. So with instead of
Sure.
product, it's just creators. And yeah,
Yeah.
this is something which the top guys like. It has to happen.
I remember Yannick was talking about that, like when you made the case study with him, like more than a year ago. I used to watch like Yannick talk about the strategy. I'm now in its place talking about the same thing. So like
Yes.
just the point, I'm really grateful for where I am, bro.
For sure, for sure. Same here. I'm super happy for you, by the way, because I
Thank you
saw you
very much.
struggle so much, but it paid off at the end. Did you ever had moments where you wanted to quit?
I had a lot of those moments. I never like decide to quit. Like I always question why everything's happening, why all these problems. I really never decide to quit because I've seen the gains, like I've seen the profits. My life like drastically changes like with just like the small profit that I used to get, like there's like huge impact to my life. But I'm not sure. I didn't even thought about that like for a while, even though like it had the craziest problems. And we're just talking like just yesterday, try to put me on another hold. So like every day, on another note, I got used to it. I don't know, like I've been through a lot of problems, so I know it's gonna get resolved. And even though it doesn't, there is another thing, another like solution, another
Yeah.
things they will do. So I've never like thought of quitting.
Did you talk to your family and friends and everybody about all of the success, or did they not know?
Nobody know except like I'm talking only to my sister and showing her these numbers. My parents are not like they know I'm doing e-commerce. They know I'm doing a little bit good, but I've never shared with them these numbers because it's gonna go over their head. Like these numbers are like are crazy. I like they just have to know that I'm doing good. They're gonna be like good for the rest of their lives, and I'm gonna take care of them. It's all what they have to know. I'm like for that I'm really grateful because my parents like they have types of jobs that if they stop working, like no income's gonna they're not gonna get any income. So
Mhm.
I this the idea in my mind like keeping me going like whenever I go through troubles. So they are one of the main reason why I'm doing that, and I'm really grateful that I started to share with them and start to give them. They start to chill a little bit, and they don't have to worry about retirement and like everybody for the rest of
Mhm.
their life. I'm really
Yeah.
grateful that I can take care of them.
100%. And this is something you need to keep in front of your like eyes when you actually think about the numbers, because 10K a month in profit is not going to be enough to sustain your entire family and yourself and have a good life. It's not doable. This month is the very first month where you could actually do that, where you could have a good life by yourself. You can put money away, just saving a little bit, and also sustain family. This is like you making 40K, around 40K this month. That's the very first time that's actually doable. But even that, like, do you have to pay taxes on that?
I think yes, yeah. I gotta talk to my accountant, but I think I'm gonna pay a little bit of taxes.
So just keep in mind, this is the level which you need to hold to actually be able to live well, save, and sustain. 40K should be the bare minimum standard profit per month.
I'll
Ideally
aim
after
for
tax.
it. I'll aim for it.
Yes. Yeah.
And aim for it with this product. I will also diversify because my goal is to have like multiple products and like
Yeah.
diversification is key. Like I learned that in the program. We should have multiple Facebook accounts, multiple PayPal accounts. I learned that the hard way, even though you told me from the beginning. I had to learn it like the hard way when I got restricted and I got a lot of setbacks. I have to redo it again a lot of times. That's gonna help me a lot reach this like 40K milestone when I have a diverse structure.
What would you tell to a complete beginner who's just starting out? What's the main advice you'd give?
My best advice is the quantity thing we talk about. It's very easy for a beginner to get emotionally attached and have like their own ideas and they assume stuff that it's not even true. Like as a beginner, you shouldn't believe yourself, or even when you told yourself something or you suggest yourself a way of doing things, like just don't listen to yourself. Just do exactly what other people are doing it. I was thinking the complete opposite. I had a little bit of ego and I say like, I've watched like a million YouTube videos. I know like what they're talking. But in terms of application and when you're actually on the ground, things are completely different. So just listen to get a mentor. This one is like by far the most important thing. Just get a mentor. The advice they will give you are very valuable. The community that you're in is very valuable. It works subconsciously on your subconscious mind. You found people that are doing numbers and you don't even think of quitting. You just think of optimizing and changing the way you do things so you can like do good as well as the other people are doing and follow like what other people are doing. They did it like 1,000 times, 100 times. They know what they're talking about. Like when Michael said something, just follow it, and it's gonna be good. Like if it didn't work once, it's not supposed to work for the first time. Do it like 10 times or 100 times, and it's gonna work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like this is like purest advice I can give somebody.
100%. This is something which is very important. I constantly get people telling me, "Hey, I did what you said, but it didn't work." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Yeah, I tested the different AOV thing and it didn't work." And I'm like, "Oh, so you mean that AOV doesn't work because you had one split test of one upsell? What does that mean?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, I tested the offer and it didn't work." And it's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's one test out of hundreds you have to do overall. You shouldn't be expecting every single one, the very first one to work, because if you think about this, let's say you test 100. Do you expect all of them to work? No. So why do you expect the very first one to work? It's still one. So the
Yeah.
number of one, your expectations are completely different all of a sudden if you think bigger.
I do have question right now, like you said about being lazy when you're doing it and you chill and stuff. Like, how can I combat that? How can I be more productive? How can I properly plan my day, my week?
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm almost sure you're not writing down what you need to do on the next day, the top 3 things every single day before you go to bed, right?
I just started doing. I had a call with Rasmus like the other day, and I just started doing that. I had like a daily to-do list for a while. It was very helpful, but when like a lot of chaos came into my day and like a lot of surprises, I stopped following that because it's very hard to to predict what the day is gonna bring.
You need to have a very clear plan, and except for very specific things where your payment thing is going to get blocked or some like really, really big thing where you need to act right now, you have to follow the plan no matter what. Like in the evening, you have to plan the next like the 3 things you need to do the next day. In the morning, you have to do the calendar structure. You have to do it. You just have to. The tasks you put in there, try to put in too many. And to just tell yourself, all right, I'm not going to finish until I have the tasks done. And this is very important. The tasks have to be only action based. So, for example, if it's like get my Stripe account unblocked, that's not a task, right? Like this is just like it's not in your control. So your thing is going to be find all the emails of them and text all of them done, you know? So this could be one task, and you need to make very specific lists in the morning of the exact things you have to do the day. And also, if you have something comes up, you have to do this. Ask yourself, do you have to do it now, or can I finish the plan and then do it? Because this is how it usually should be. You always need to have like one sheet, like a Trello board or some like notes thing, where every idea you get, every new thing which comes up, you write it down there, because if you don't, you're going to forget. But you keep doing the task which you actually need to do. And it's very easy to get distracted if you all of a sudden have an idea to test this thing or test new creative idea or new something. You know, you just change the plan and do the thing which you just came up with. And this is bullshit, because you need to follow the plan and later on, after you're done, write it down. The main thing is just seeing a real fire as a real fire and not just smoke from a fire. You know, like for you, being blocked, okay, fine. You can act now. You have to act now, and everything else is later. But most of the things are just smoke. It's not real. You can also do it in 10 hours. Nothing's going to change. Getting on calls with people and telling them the plan. I don't know who it is, but ideally someone from the program who's also doing dropshipping. In the morning, you sit there, like we'll go into a Zoom together. What's the plan for the day? In the evening, you review it together with them, and you both do it together. And then you have an accountability partner with
Yeah.
Patrick, with Ras, with somebody who's doing good numbers as you. And I'm sure the other person is also going to want to do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But would you say like for you, for example, you don't live without a plan, and like you can't imagine your day without a to-do list, or you can't imagine your week without planning your whole
Yeah.
week.
For me, it's a very different thing because I have employees, and it's not only planning my things, but it's also thinking of tasks for them as well. And
Nice.
of course, it's a completely different world. I have like over 20 employees at this point, and it's like
I see.
it's very difficult to be unproductive with that. Because if you
Yeah.
if you think about action based stuff and not what did I do today, but what happened today, what was produced today. If you have 20 people, you win, and then that doesn't matter
Yeah. Sure.
how productive you're. It doesn't matter. So that's also something I would recommend slowly but surely for you, starting to build a team for like assistants, and it doesn't even have to be another dropshipper who holds you accountable. If you have some assistant who you just present the tasks and they understand what the next steps are, and you give them a few of the tasks which are simple, and then in the evening you review everything, that's going to be half of the work as well. I like in the very beginning, I started out, I did it with a friend, the accountability stuff, who was studying. He was telling me about his study things, what he has to do, and I told him about the dropshipping. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the same thing. It just has to be another person who should tell the thing. And by telling him,
Yeah.
you first of all make an actual plan every day, and secondly, it's going to sound weird if you don't do it, and it's also going to sound weird if it's not enough. If you just put in one task, they're going to be like, wait, that's it?
Yeah, I understand. That's like, yeah, that's a really good idea when I look at it. So I'll try to do it. I need to like make this planning like really big part of my life. I need to force myself to do it for a month so I can get used to it. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna help. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
And like you talked about hiring, like what do you think my next hire? I have like customer support being taken care of. I have also my brother that's doing product research, a little bit of product research and fulfilling orders for me.
Or outreach to creators, outreach to content creators, doing the back and forth, doing the editing for you, those things, like all the creative work. That's going to be the next step.
And do you think it's a good idea to hire someone who creates like stores for me, create like the creatives and the store for my next product?
Sure.
Regarding like the profits, like in percentage, how much do you think should stay in the business? And how much do you think I can like take in personally and enjoy it?
This is not the general rule because it depends. If it's your first month doing high numbers, 30% is too much already. If you consistently make those numbers, it's okay. So there's a difference. If we talk about your specific situation right now, I wouldn't go crazy. And let's say from the 40K profit you made, let's say taxes, how much you think you're going to pay, 5 to 10K, something like that, or less.
Yeah, 5K. Like around
Okay, so
20%, say it's 8K, something like.
Okay, so let's say you made like 32K or 30. Let's say 30K. Let's say you made 30K. Right now, I wouldn't spend more than 5. The 5K is tops, and the rest you should like leave in a bank account. If this is going to go on for 6 months, by all means, spend 10, 15K. Okay, that's not a problem. And you just need to think it like thinking in percentages is sometimes right and sometimes wrong. Because I was explaining, like I was talking to, like, for example, my grandmother, and I told her like I'm renting an apartment for like 4K a month, and she was like, "Are you insane? This is too much, and this is like you shouldn't do that." I explained to her, "Listen, I'm making over 100K profit after taxes every month. It's 4%.
Yeah.
This on 100K, it's 4%. How much are you spending on rent?" And she's like, "Yeah, like 1,000." And I'm like, "Okay, so and how much are you making?" And it's like a couple thousand. And I'm like, "Okay, so wait, you're spending like exponentially more than me. You're spending almost half of your entire income on the rent. So percentages change if you make more money. And this is something which you will have a good feeling for, but it feels off in the beginning. Like right now, you feel like you're this 40K a month entrepreneur, which you're not yet. Like you're not the 40K profit guy yet because you just had one good month. Take the average of the last 6 to 12 months. And that's the baseline. This is the actual entrepreneur you are. And basically, this is how you should treat everything. So you can spend 20 to 30% of the average, which is not like probably less than 5K.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for me, like my question was around like the average for around 6 months. So we're talking until I'm not gonna get like most of the amount the money that's being held until like March. So I have like another 4 months to acquire profits until the other ones add up. So I can have like a big amount in the bank. So I can take a little bit of it for
Look,
myself.
you
So
you can take the thing out, but only if you have consistency and if you're very confident that this is going to keep going. Because what I always say is, like, I would be pissed at myself if I would save up and I would care about that in 5 years. If I save up right now, like 500,000, and it hurts a little bit, and then in 5 years I would care about these 500,000. The fuck? Like, why did I like what is
absolutely, yeah.
I take the 500K and I give it to myself in 5 years. I literally take it from now into 5 years. That's what saving is. And in 5 years, I shouldn't care about 500,000. Like, I will be pissed.
Sure.
So this is something where if you think like that, sure, go ahead, spend. But keep in mind, this only applies if you have consistency, a team. It's not depending on only you. You have every black box checked, and you don't yet. So right now, you
Sure.
shouldn't think like that yet. You should have multiple winning products, employees who are doing things for you. If something happens to you and you're sick for a month, if things go down because of that, you're not allowed to spend. You just need to understand that everything has to be outsourced in a way where truly there's no black boxes. And then you can start spending a lot of money. But before that, I would not go over 30%. I would not go over 30% of the monthly profits.
Got it. That's more than I was planning. So it's all right.
Yeah.
Like if I do like 10K, I would go and spend like half of it. I'm type of person that I like a visionary. I have like at least about a year of like actual like hard work and sit down and work and optimize my stuff, diversify, have an actual stable online income that can set me free. Then I can go enjoy and travel and everything. So for the next year, it's not gonna be as pretty as the people on Instagram, but it's gonna like be actually like hard work. So I can be set free for life, not just like 1 or 2 or even 5 months, 40K a month. It's not like the plan. Actually, my plan is 100K profits per month. So my goal is to net at least like $1 million profit, yearly profit. It's a big goal, and actually, like I'm willing to work on it. So this is my promise on public.
Well, I like that. I like that. It's definitely doable. It's possible. Again, keeping that in mind, spending 20K a month is not that bad, right? It's not if you plan on that, if you actually plan on that, then it's not a problem to spend 20K a month right now. But it just like it has actually the whole plan has to add up. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. But just like the lifestyle won't allow you to spend that money, even if you want. I mean, you can spend it on your parents, on yourself, but you're gonna be on a monk mode, or you're gonna be like working on yourself. So there's nowhere to spend it.
At least for now, I guess.
I have a question about the job actually. Like I'm really not working, so I only work like half an hour. For now, like the past 2 months, I didn't like work at all. Half an hour, I jump on a quick meeting and that's it. Do you think it's time to quit that job and even like just remove the idea?
No.
Or,
No, like no. You're getting like a couple thousand every month?
Yeah.
No. Why would you quit that?
I mean, like the job is like taking care of rent, food, parents, and everything. So
this allows you to not spend any money off the dropshipping stuff, which
true, yeah.
It's 100% don't quit it until they fire you because they notice you're lazy.
Yeah, I'm also waiting for that.
It's funny. I mean, yeah, like no, don't quit that job.
I think of it sometimes as like a safest net behind my back. So if I remove it, I am gonna like work even harder, knowing that the rent is gonna be paid by the dropshipping money and not like the job.
Yeah, sure, but okay, then like take all the job money and give it to your parents. Like you shouldn't throw away money. Like,
yeah.
If you want to remove the safety net, then just don't take the money. But like you can still pay for rent from your dropshipping money.
That's a good point, actually.
Just last question, like how would you describe the program structure itself to someone who isn't yet?
The program is actions driven. So the program is a list of action that you have to do. So I believe like your success relies on you only. So everything is going to be properly set up for you, how to do everything, guidance from a lot of people, not only Michael. There's like subject matter experts on create on Facebook ads, people that are 6 million, people that like do 100 creatives, and a lot of people that actually like really, really know what they're talking about. So any information that you need is available to you. And the only thing that's required from you is action. So if you do action, it's gonna like drastically change the results. So I really encourage you to join the program, and I really encourage you to like do the stuff that you're being told to do. I've seen a lot of people in the program, they test like one product or they do one thing and they complain, which like if you just compare yourself to people that are successful, you can like obviously see the difference in terms of quantity and efforts put in. So it's all relies on you to make a difference in your success.
Yeah, 100%. So for everybody who this resonates with, if you actually think you're going to be able to apply the things and genuinely put in the work. And here we talked about Facebook. Obviously, we have a Facebook side of things, we have an organic side of things. Doesn't matter what you're doing, both of it is going to require a shit ton of work. And if you're willing to do that, then you can click the link below, sign up for a call, and we're going to find out if it's a good fit. And yeah, appreciate having you. I'm looking forward to doing an update interview
Thanks,
when
man.
you hit the belly.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as well. Thanks for the opportunity, man.
For
All
sure,
of the
bro.
good
For sure.